Hi, rooted listeners. A lot of athletes like to avoid today's conversation that we're having. But if you continue to avoid it, then the anxiety and fear around it will just keep getting bigger and bigger. I'm talking about life after sport. What the heck is that? What does it look like? What are you going to do? And who are you without your sport? All of those are very scary questions. I have a new program that just came out. It's available on my website. It's a program for athletes with 6 steps to help them transition out of sport. So whether your sport is ending soon, maybe already ended, or you're just starting to think about life after athletics, then this episode is for you. Today, I'm going to walk you through those 6 steps that help athletes transition out of sport with confidence, purpose, and clarity. So this is just a good sneak peek into that new workbook program that helps walk you through with a deeper reflection. So getting right into the steps here. Step 1 for athletes transitioning out of sport. It's important to anticipate some of the challenges that you're going to experience. So the first step, acknowledging the challenges, not completely avoiding them. Because planning for life after sport, it doesn't mean you care less about your sport right now. I'll hear that a lot from athletes is, I don't want to think about that because it's taking my attention away from my sport. It's not really doing that. If anything, it's making you feel more confident because you have a plan. And when you have a plan about what you're going to do afterward, you can just enjoy and play in the moment and not feel all this pressure like, oh my gosh, it's my last season. I have to be perfect. Or if you're trying to get to the next level. So it means you're just being proactive, just like you are in training. You train to be proactive and to help you feel more prepared for game days, for competition days. And the more honest you are about what might be hard for you, the less power those fears will have over you. So identifying the types of challenges you will face will again help you prepare for them. Some common ones are loss of identity, loss of structure and routine, because you've been given a routine basically your entire life. Loss of that competitive aspect. Maybe you might struggle with loss of a social life because you have built-in best friends when you're on a team. So identify what your biggest challenges are going to be and write those down. That is step 1. Step 2 is identifying transferable skills, because a lot of athletes forget your skills don't retire when you do. The discipline, leadership, resilience, performing under pressure, working with people that you don't really like. You didn't just play a sport, you trained your nervous system, your mind, your work ethic. All of these things are completely transferable to what is next for you. And that's why businesses and people love hiring athletes, because they have all of these skills. So in the second step, the goal isn't to completely start over. It's to recognize what you're bringing with you from sport. Let's acknowledge everything that sport has taught you. That way, you know exactly what to carry with you into the next phase of your life. And that's pretty cool when athletes can see everything that sport has given them. Step 3 is applying those transferable skills to actual real life scenarios. So the same skills that helped you handle pressure in a game help you handle setbacks, help you handle interviews and uncertainty, because athletes are problem solvers. Even when life throws you a flat tire, a bad rainy day, maybe a rejection email, you have the tools to handle those things. And transitioning well out of sport isn't about avoiding the discomfort. It's going to be hard. It's going to be sad. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone. But it's about trusting that you know how to adapt when challenges come your way. You are more prepared for life than you think. I promise you. Sport has set you up for so much success. And if you're looking at it like that, it's going to be easier because there's a sense of gratitude with it versus just sorrow and loss. It will be sad when you retire. Again, I was bawling my eyes out, but I wasn't thinking about everything I was taking away from volleyball with me, so it made it 10 times harder. So step 3 is applying skills to real life scenarios. And in my program, I have a bunch of real life scenarios for you to work on and practice applying those skills to. Step 4 is finding perspective and acknowledging the support systems that you have, because perspective is very powerful. And instead of asking, what am I losing? let's try asking, what am I gaining? And no, that's not the first question that I'm going to be asking you. Let's sit in the suckiness for a little bit before we start moving on to, well, what can I look forward to? But you don't do this alone. Athletes are used to teams. You still need one. And when you ask, what am I gaining? You're probably gaining more time. You're probably gaining more opportunities, more time to hang out with people, to explore other passions that you have. But you certainly don't do that alone. Athletes are used to having teams. The strongest athletes that I work with are the ones who, it sounds really cheesy, but the ones who ask for help. So they seek out friends, and whether they do this intentionally or not, they're intentionally hanging out with friends, they're talking to alumni, they're staying connected with their coaches. Because when you know people are there for you and they don't see you any less just because you aren't an athlete anymore, it's a lot easier to find your self-worth outside of your sport. So going through this transition alone is 10 times harder. Make sure you're identifying the people in your life who will give you the honest feedback, who will have fun nights out with you, and will help you find some perspective, because we all need that. So step 4, finding perspective on this transition, a different perspective than one that you might have, and identifying support systems. Step 5 is exploring your career options and learning how to be patient. Most athletes feel a lot of pressure to figure everything out immediately right away, but uncertainty isn't a failure by any means. It's simply part of the process. I mean, think back to the recruiting stage. You didn't know where you were going to be. There was a lot of uncertainty, but you kept working hard. You wrote your emails, you made connections, you went on visits, and eventually you found the right school for you. It all worked out. Some definitely had harder recruiting roads than others, but still you found your home. So it can be a season of waiting. When you retire from your sport, it can be a season of waiting, exploring, trying new things. That's not wasted time. Your job during this period is not to have all the answers. It's to stay curious and take small steps forward. And you're going to probably have to take a job that is just a stepping stone to another job. It's very unrealistic to have a dream job or to even know what your dream job is right away. Chances are you didn't have a whole lot of internships because you didn't have time with your athletic career. So take the time to gain experience, enjoy the downtime while you're searching for a job, because when you do get a job, it's going to be go, 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 probably the rest of your life. And in the workbook program, it helps you explore what are your likes, interests, what are your strengths, what are you good at, and what are career options within all of those things that help encompass all of that. So step 5, career exploration. And I forgot to mention this, it also talks about finding patience and ways to stay patient as you're waiting. Step 6, our last one here, is helping athletes to find new routines for their body and their mind, their nutrition. Keeping a routine, I cannot stress this enough. Keeping a routine after you retire from sport is so important. You're used to having so much structure when you're in athletics. Your schedule is written out for you for years. And when that disappears, it's very easy for your health to disappear too, which is going to make you feel worse about yourself. So that's why creating a new exercise routine and nutrition routines matter, not just for performance, but for long-term health and confidence. This will keep you healthy, productive, disciplined. The movement still matters. So part 6 walks you through what your routines were regarding health and exercise, what routines you can keep, and what ones you should adjust to match your new lifestyle. And this is kind of fun because you don't have to do any exercise routines that you don't like. I hated burpees. So I stopped doing burpees after college, and I don't regret it one bit. You get to choose what is going to keep you motivated. And then we also talk about your nutrition habits and maybe adjusting those, what you're going to have to do, because maybe eating 5 meals isn't going to fit your activity level anymore. Maybe you need more of this and less of this. So it just helps you become aware of what habits you have currently and what ones you need to adjust moving forward. So your athletic career has taught you more than you know. And it was never meant to be the only meaningful thing in your life. That would be pretty sad. What you learned through sport is preparing you for something a lot bigger, even if you cannot see it yet. This transition is not an ending, athletes. It's simply a bridge, and you are more ready than you think. So for help transitioning out of your sport, please reach out to me. My email's in the show notes. Visit my website for a free consult, or visit my website in the shop and you can find this workbook program that I just walked you through. Thanks for tuning in, you all, and we'll see you next week.